Okay, so we've got here a shape. Okay, now this shape is a trapezium. Okay, because as the question states here, it's got one pair of parallel sides. And when you've got this, look at this formula here. It says the cost, right, in pence of making the metal shape above is given by this formula. And the formula, if you notice, contains A, okay, which is to work out the area of this metal shape. So we need to work out the area here of the trapezium. So there's the formula for it, okay, and this is given to you in the exam, okay, so it's on the inside page, on page 2, all right, so you don't need to remember this one, you can just copy it down. So quite simply, in this case here, the area, okay, which is called A, will be half. Now you have a bracket, and then the A plus B then are the two sides that are parallel to each other. With these arrows here, you can see they're going in the same direction. So in this particular trapezium, it'll be 12 and 14. So we add those two together in that bracket, and then you times it then, okay, so the h at the end means you've got to times then by the h, which is 5, okay. So what I would do then, okay, because this is obviously non-calculator, I would add those terms in that bracket there to start with, so I get 26, okay, and then times that by 5, okay. So we'll take our time on this, okay, I've added inside the bracket. Now I can work this out, okay, step by step. So I could do half of 26, okay, to sort of simplify this here. Now we know half of 26 is just 13, okay. So I've got rid of that now, I worked it out, 13, and then I've got to times that by 5. So, you know, you go through your 5 times table, okay, 10 times 5, isn't it, is 50. So 11 times 5 is 55, 12 times 5 is 60, 13 times 5 is 65, okay? So that's the area there of the trapezium. So now we want to find the cost, okay, of making 300 of these metal shapes. Well, the formula here given, right, gives us the cost of making one of these metal shapes, okay? So what I need to do is substitute my area here into that formula. Okay, it looks nasty, but we'll work it out, and then we can work out how much 300 will cost. So if we put it in here, 65 is what my A is, okay, times then the 0.1, and then we'll add on then the 13.5, okay. So now we need to multiply 65 by 0.1, okay. We'll work that out to start with. Now, a couple of ways of doing this, okay, but we can recognize what 0.1 is as a fraction, perhaps, okay. So we can see this as fraction to be 1/10. That's what 0.1 is. So if I multiply 65 by 1/10, effectively, I need to work out what 1/10 of 65 is. So I'll be dividing 65 by 10. Okay, and if you divide 65 by 10, of course, you get 6.5, don't you? Digits stay the same, but it becomes smaller, so they shift to the right there. Okay, don't forget then we need to add on in that 13.5. All right, so 6.5 then, add 13.5 will become 20. Okay, if you add those two together, right? So again, you know, you could line these up by the side just to be sure of that, and then add them up. Okay, so 5 add 5 is 10. So 10, so 0 carry 1. 3 and 6 is 9, plus the 1 is 10, so 0 carry 1, and then got 1 and the 1 is 2. So the cost is 20, okay? Now that's the cost of making the metal shape, okay? That's the cost of making one of them. And it's, of course, it's going to be in pence, so that's 20 pence. Now if you want 300 of them, okay, then you're going to need to multiply that by 300, okay? So the total cost for 300 will equal to 300 times 20 pence, okay? And we can do that, okay? That's not difficult, because we can just do 3 times 2, can't we? Because there's zeros here. Just focus on the 3 and the 2. Multiply them. 3 times 2 is 6. And then there are zeros here, and there's 3 of them. So we get that there. Okay? Now that will be in pence, right? So it'll be 6,000 pence. Okay? Now it's ideal perhaps to change that into pounds. So if you change it into pounds, remember, there's 100 pence in a pound. So we divide by 100, and if we divide by 100, okay, as if, you know, a couple of ways of thinking of this. The decimal point moves if you want to see it that way, so you get 60.00, okay? Or you could think of dividing it like this. Okay, 6,000 there, divide by 100, and the zeros cancel. And we get 60 that way, whichever, okay? You can get your answer in pounds a number of ways there, and we get our final answer of £60.